What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, do me a real quick favor. See that red subscribe button down below? Go ahead and push that and show your support for the channel. Those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So it's that time. It's Sunday, and you know what that means. It's week number 9 in my weekly rotation. Let's get right into it. So starting off on Sunday, one I haven't worn in a while. I felt it was due a wearing, and it was in my 15 office-friendly fragrances video recently. I forgot how much I enjoyed it because it's, like I said, a lot of these fragrances get lost in the shuffle. When you get in the multiple hundreds range, things tend to get lost in the shuffle, and this is one I was definitely glad to revisit, and we'll be getting more wear in the future for sure. On Sunday, I went with Dunhill Desire Red. Very vanilla woody, kind of a Boss bottled kind of feel with the vanilla heightened without the cinnamon, if that makes any sense. Very good fragrance, solid performer. Projects relatively heavy for about an hour, and then it starts to sit a lot closer to the skin, but I get every bit of 7 hours with it. Very good fragrance. I really enjoyed wearing it on Sunday, just like today. On my day off, I just kind of mix it up, whatever I feel like smelling, because I don't really go out and do a whole lot on my day off. I just like to relax and like to talk to you guys on my Sundays, so I just kind of mix it up. So that was my Sunday fragrance. And then that night, when I got out the shower, it was also my night to shave. So there's two things to cover here. So getting out the shower that night was actually Nautica Voyage Sport. I'm starting to get getting a lot of monikers about how big of a fan of Nautica I am, like I used to get about the Invictus line. Somebody in the comments the other day said I should be sponsored by Nautica. I talk about them so much. You can't go wrong with Nautica fragrances, especially getting out the shower. They're great out the shower. They're fresh, aquatic, they're cheap. You can spray them heavy and don't worry about it because you can get another bottle for cheap. Nautica Voyage Sport. And then after I shaved, I actually busted out shears from Genre Parfums. One that I'm testing out for Devin right now. I've only used it twice. I want to give it a few more rounds before I get back with him on some feedback. I may do a full review on here and just send the video to him and let him do as he may with it. May post it on the channel, I don't know. I will discuss with him further, but I can tell you, after using it twice so far, I really do enjoy that little bit of a sting to it. It does have astringent qualities to it. That's kind of like growing up, you didn't like getting alcohol put on a wound when you were a kid. It didn't bother me because that burn told me it's killing bacteria and it's doing something. And you get that little sting, and it's not a strong scent. So this actually works well because the fragrance on it, you can see right here, is Imperial. And I can tell you, I don't find the fragrance portion of it to be that strong. So this works well with being a good aftershave that you can spray a fragrance on right after. So just saying. Now, moving into Monday was actually my first day at my new job. I'm actually in, so I've been talking about it here and there, but I haven't just come out and told you guys what's going on. So I did move to San Antonio. I am working at North Park Toyota now. I did switch brands. I followed my old boss over there. Things kind of went south at Mercedes with a pay plan change that I didn't agree with. Hated to leave because, you know, my coworkers were like family to me, but that's what happened. Got with my wife and my mother and my stepfather, and we made a group decision. I went executive decision on them and decided it was time to part ways. Made a phone call the next day, and here we are. I took December off, and January I'm in San Antonio. So big things on the horizon, a lot of things in the works for me there. I will be selling cars for the foreseeable future, and we'll see what happens down the road. But moving into Monday, that first day, I had to show out. You know, I've been wearing, as you can see from my videos, I've been wearing at the very least a blazer, but mostly suit and tie every day. And those of you that have been around the channel long enough know my favorite suit and tie fragrance, Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. Cannot go wrong with this fragrance. Oh, it's so good. It's an homage to a classic fougere in the opening, but the dry down and the transition just gets so much more modern with the cardamom and the Florentine iris, the temple oud. It's very resinous. It's beautiful. Status type of fragrance right here. When you're put together, you want to smell put together. This smells put together. So that's what I wore on Monday. And then later that evening, when I got out the shower, was one that, you know, I know it gets dubbed that it's an Aventus type fragrance, and I can kind of see the path it's going, but it doesn't really smell like Aventus to me. You get the idea of Aventus when you smell it, but like I said, it doesn't resemble it heavily. To me, it's actually more barbershop with the citrus opening and the musky dry down, because it's everything it says. It's bergamot and musk from Cremo. I love spraying this one out the shower, especially on days after I shave, which I did not do the previous day. I decided to go with Nautica, but this one's great for that. I don't care what anybody says. That's how I like to use it. It's kind of a dumb reach fragrance. You just want to smell crisp and clean. This is kind of gentlemanly, to be honest with you. Like I said, I know a lot of people advertise it as an Aventus clone, and you get that's where they're going, but I feel like it's more fougere barbershop type fragrance than advertised, to be honest with you. So out the shower on Monday was Cremo, bergamot and musk. Then moving on to Tuesday, actually did a full review on this fragrance after this full wearing. I had tested it several times. Got a lot of heat. A lot of flack from a couple of people saying, oh, you can just get the real thing for a little bit more money. Check out this eBay seller and that eBay seller and this eBay seller, and had a big debate, and to each their own. But for the money, it's hard to beat, in my opinion. This is my favorite fragrance from the house. It's from Alt Fragrances. It's Farouche, their version of Dior Sauvage. Now, the crazy thing about this one, this is an eau de parfum concentration, but it's replicating the eau de toilette concentration of Dior Sauvage. It smells like the eau de toilette, but performs like it did originally when it first came out, when it had heavy projection and it lasted a long time. Because I got every bit of 10 hours with this fragrance. This is a damn good clone. I don't care what anybody says. This is a damn good clone. This is very close to Dior Sauvage, and it will be getting a lot of wear out of me. For those days, I don't mind smelling like an Ambroxan bomb anyways, because I don't always want to smell that sharp and astringent, because this is all of those things. But in my opinion, it's a great version of it, seriously. And then later that night when I got out the shower, speaking of versions of things, this is actually kind of a version of Fierce in a way. It's Kenneth Cole's version of it anyways. A lot of you probably didn't even know I had this, because it's never really been on the channel, I don't think. One that I've had for years. I've had it since it came out 10 years ago, 9 years ago, whatever it was. And I just don't spray it that often, you know. It's not a bad fragrance. It's Kenneth Cole, Mankind. You see the little dent in there. It's not one that I spray often. Pineapple musk, you know. It's a good fragrance, really is. This hasn't spoiled or anything like that. I mean, it's sat in the bathroom on the counter for years before I got my shelving and started storing things better. It's a very good fragrance, it really is. And out the shower, I was just in the mood for some pineapple and musk, I guess. I saw it, I thought about it, I grabbed the bottle and smelled it, just went to spraying. It was very relaxing. You'll definitely, when you smell this one, you'll think Mont Blanc Legend, you'll think Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, no doubt. But believe it or not, this was my out the shower fragrance on Tuesday, I believe it was. That's correct, on Tuesday. So, moving into Wednesday. So, on Wednesday, I went back suit and tie. So, I wanted to feel a little more put together. And I debated between two from the house and ended up going this route. Absolutely love this fragrance. I did a revisiting review on it. Didn't get a whole lot of views, but hey, I don't care. I still enjoyed talking about it because it's a damn good fragrance. All the hype's around the 2020 version, and I still think this is the way to go. Haven't smelled the 2020, so I guess that opinion could change, but there's a strong possibility it won't, because I love Iris. So I wore Dior Homme, the 2011 formulation. I believe, I haven't checked the batch code. I'm sure it's a 2018 batch, but it's the 2011 formula. I had somebody in the comments, there's always somebody in the comments got, you know, I love it. I love talking to you guys. I get it. Everybody's got their opinions, and hey, let's hear them. But he said, oh, you don't have a 2011 batch. That's probably a 2018 bottle. You're right. It is probably a 2018 bottle. I haven't checked the batch. The formula is the 2011 formula. So the new formula since the new formula since 2011 is the 2020. Follow me? We here? Okay. Stop giving me hell, guys. I'm just telling you what I know of and what I smell and these things. You know, people give me such a hard time. I just don't get it. I'm just on here to talk to you guys. That's all. We can have spirited debates. I have no problem with it. And I'm not saying this guy was rude in any ways. He wasn't. If you're watching, no hard feelings. It's all good. I thought it was noteworthy because I'm kind of an open book. Things that happen on a daily basis and so on and so forth, and how I feel about these fragrances. I like to talk about it. And when it comes to Dior Homme, I'm a little defensive about Dior Homme because I really enjoy this. I like this one more than Intense. I don't like it more than Parfume. I do like it more than Eau, believe it or not. This is my second favorite of the ones I have. The Parfume is just so different. It's just that leather, it's just so good. And then later that evening, I'm getting a little off topic here. Later that evening, I was in the mood for some heavy citrus after wearing Iris all day long, smelling like a makeup bag and some lipstick. Crazy that sounds, it smells great. Gap, Yuzu and Chino. I got my citrus on that night. This sucker is heavy citrus. So pleasant. I strongly advise you to not overlook this one. If you can find it cheap, $10, $15, there's a lot worse you can buy for $10 or $15. I don't know exactly what they're going for. It was a gift from my brother-in-law and sister-in-law that was labeled for my nephews. My nephews got good taste for being 3 years old and 3 months old. They got good, 2 years old and 3 months old. They got good taste for being so young. Very good fragrance. One that I would say is a superstar cheapie, to be honest with you, because the more I've worn it, the more I like it. I'm just going to be real with you. Performance is abysmal as you would expect, but give it a shot. If you like spraying something that's fresh when you get out the shower, and I know it kind of color combo is working, give it a shot. You'll probably like it. I tend to reach for this one a lot more than I thought I would. Put that there. And then moving on to Thursday. The one that I have dubbed the Swiss Army knife, and because it does it all. Dressed like I am right now. It works. Hoodie, flat bill hat, Crash Bandicoot, little Nickelodeon hoodie. Just fun stuff. I like to enjoy myself on my days off. So you can go tuxedo with it. You can go t-shirt with it. You can do anything and everything in between. Acqua di Gio Profumo. One of my favorite fragrances. It lasts and lasts and lasts. If you spray too heavy, it'll project too heavy. If you keep it reasonable in the 3 to 5 spray range, you're not going to choke nobody out in a relatively open area. Confined space, it might be a little much. You might have to 2 spray it. Oh man, but for that big old dealership I'm working at without an enclosed office, my office is an open space, you know, it works. It's great. I love this fragrance. I get how it can be boring to some. You know, some that want, you know, as your nose matures, you want things that are more and more daring and more daring. But not every situation dictates having a daring fragrance. And sometimes you need something that's going to please the masses. That definitely does that. And then later that night, one that I've been conserving sprays because it's been discontinued for a while. And yeah, the bottle prices aren't crazy, but I don't want to spend $30 or $40 on a Nautica fragrance. One of the reasons I love them is because of how cheap you can get. So I've been conserving the sprays on Nautica Regatta. This is a 1 ounce bottle. You see what I have left. This bottle is every bit of 8 to 9 years old, probably. It's been, yeah, I think I got this bottle the first year I was in my house, which was 2012. So yeah, it's about 8 years ago. Little cheap freshie. Still smells amazing too. Very marine, very salty, aquatic. Sad that they discontinued this one because this is good. To get 100 ml bottles in that $50 range from what I've seen on eBay, you can get the little 1 ounces like this in that $20 range. And I may do that one day because I'll tell you what, this is one of my favorite Nautica fragrances that has ever been made. That's why I've been conserving the sprays once I got down to this point because it's a very good fragrance and they got away from this little cap design. Pretty cool. But Nautica Regatta, if you see it out there in the wild, cheap, you grab this. This is a good one. And they don't make it anymore. Put that right there. Can't wait till my desk gets back up here, guys. What y'all don't see, just a little side note, is I still have my rack that I set my phone on. That setup hasn't changed. The problem is, if you remember my older videos, I used to grab stuff from the left off camera. I have my little TV tray, okay? I would always have next to my desk. Well, now I don't have my desk, so the TV tray is right here. So I'm having to work off this space and have the fragrances right here. I'll have to show y'all my setup on camera one of these days. But moving into Friday, went back suit and tie again. And I thought, you know what? Let's do some more Iris. Let's mix it up though. Let's get a little soapy. It actually projects a bit heavier than Dior Homme. And I do like it a bit more than Dior Homme. It's one of my happy fragrances. Prada L'Homme, the original. I strongly recommend this fragrance. No doubt, this is such a good fragrance to wear to work. It's not weak by any means. It's versatile. The neroli makes it soapier, so the lipsticky quality isn't as strong. It's not as astringent, if you will. If Dior Homme's a little much for you, the Dior Homme line, the Iris versions of these fragrances, not the new one. If it's a little much and you think a soapier version might work for you better, I strongly suggest to try this one. This is, in my opinion, the best way to go if you're wanting to dive into Iris more. If you like this and learn to appreciate this, your nose will get to where you'll probably end up liking Dior Homme, because it's more lipstick. You take the soapy quality away, you heighten the Iris, you have Dior Homme for the most part. It's a little bit more chocolatey. I mean, they are different fragrances, but I'm talking about strictly the Iris portion of it. Start here and then work your way here. Just a little side note. I know I'm going off topic a little bit. I didn't do a video yesterday, so I missed you guys. I wanted to talk a little bit. So I don't know how long this video is running, but on Friday was Prada L'Homme with my suit and tie, and then when I got out, right back to Nautica. Nautica Voyage Heritage. Like I said, love me some Nautica. That was my third Nautica fragrance of the week. Second of the Voyage series. And then on game day, Saturday, I was so busy, I didn't even have time to check myself for performance and so on and so forth. I had a very busy day. 2.5 deals yesterday. Technically 3 deals, but one of them was a split. Very busy. Didn't leave till about 9 o'clock last night. So it was a long day. It was a busy day. It was still on me late in the day. I didn't check again, when I was clocking out, but even at 6 o'clock, I could still smell it coming off my chest. Parfums de Marly, Galloway. This is a great fragrance. It really is. Very good. The Iris isn't real heavy on this one. It's more citrusy, musky. And the Iris is in the background. It's not at the forefront. You can smell the Iris. It makes it a little powdery. It's not lipsticky by any means. If anything, it gives it a slight soapy quality. You get a little bit of orange blossom in it. You definitely get a very clean white musk. And you get some citruses in the top. And it performs well. It's not a screamer. It does not, scream off of your skin. It's great for the office. It really is. This white bottle, this clean look, it's because it's a clean fragrance. It's damn good for the office, not gonna lie. Great for game day too. Very happy that I wore it. And then the one constant every single week, Nautica fragrance number 4 this week. Nautica Classic. My favorite Nautica fragrance. Not there yet, but at some point, I'm gonna have to grab another bottle. I love it. I really need to get another bottle of Nautica Blue. That's the one that's popular and widely available that I don't have right now. My stepson has it. He's about almost halfway through. He's about right here on his bottle of that. That's his favorite Nautica fragrance. I have not had a bottle in, it's like 3 years ago I ran out of my bottle of Nautica Blue. It's been that long since I had it. I'll get a couple sprays from him here and there, but Nautica Classic. The one constant, my favorite out the shower fragrance. So do me a real quick favor before you go, guys. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback, as you can tell by the rambling portions of this video. Sorry if I went off topic a little bit. Like I said, I had a very busy day on Saturday. The way I'm doing videos now is I'm shooting them. Like, this is the only one that's getting shot on Sunday, released on Sunday, because I'm off. Tomorrow's video I'm going to shoot in a little bit. So I didn't shoot anything Friday to release on Saturday, and I didn't shoot anything Saturday because I knew I was shooting this today. So it's been 2 days since I shot a video. So this is why I rambled a little bit. I missed you guys. I haven't got to talk to y'all and chop it up about fragrances a little bit, because I'm at a new place. I don't really have any new friends yet. Very, very few people know I review fragrances, and I'm a fragrance enthusiast and just a big nut for fragrances. So you guys are who I talk to about fragrances. You know, I don't have anybody I'm face-to-face talking about fragrances with. At my old job, I had my buddy Matt. We could talk about fragrances all day. He's a big fragrance lover. But until next time, guys, I will say if you get your hands on some of these that I went over from this past week, week number 9, you give them a spray now, I am very confident you'll thank me later. Y'all have a good one.